Well, as you know, another 3 million pages of data have been released involving Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently there's more to come. But what came out of the last 3 million pages, well, more names have come out, more information has come out, and more questions are being asked. But there's something going on that maybe you need to know about. It seems that finally, and I can use the word finally in hopes that means something at the end, Bill and Hillary Clinton will be appearing before the House of Representatives Investigative Committee for a behind doors briefing, namely a deposition. That's what it is. They're going to have the cameras rolling and ask them questions for however long it takes to depose them. However, this has taken months, and I mean months, because the Clintons have refused to testify completely along the way until the committee, both Democrats and the Republicans, voted to say, y'all got to testify, or else we're going to file contempt against you. And contempt could lead the Department of Justice charging them. And as you know, other people have gone to jail for failing to testify in front of Congress. They've all been Republicans to this point, but Bill and Hillary thought, well, they weren't going to do it. However, eventually they've said, you know what, we'll testify. And they are scheduled to testify on February 26th and February 27th, individually, in closed doors in front of a camera. However, and this is the newest thing that has come up, now they are both demanding their testimony be done in public in front of the Congressional Oversight Committee. That's one you can see on C-SPAN and probably the network channels, and who knows where it's going to be shown if they do it, but they want to be testified in public. They're saying that's where we need to know, public needs to know, and that's where we want to testify. Well, Representative Cooman, who's the head of the committee, said, yeah, fine. You want to testify in public? That's perfectly fine. But after you testify in private for a deposition with cameras and with the committee to ask you all the questions that need to be asked. Now, they apparently are going to testify. But Representative Cooman says, yeah, you want to have a public testimony? Fine, but keep something in mind. In these public situations, you can sit there and, well, you can keep asking questions, or the biggest thing you could do is you can lose your memory. Every question they ask, you could say, I don't recall. I don't remember. It doesn't come to my mind. I don't agree with that. Whatever. They can knock off and fight off any question that's asked from one side. But remember this. The members of Congress each get 5 minutes. And Bill and Hillary are very good about time delaying things as much as they possibly can. They can give you a huge answer that lasts about 3 minutes long, but doesn't say anything. Remember, do you remember what the definition of is? That goes back a long way. They're both very good at doing this. And previously, when Hillary was under investigation and testified, her memory died everything. She couldn't remember anything, including her name. This is a tactic that can be used because what are they going to do? Hey, gee whiz, you're not remembering? They have to move on to another question. But each member of Congress gets 5 minutes. That means 5 minutes for the Republicans, 5 minutes for the Democrats, so the Democrats can come in and bolster the entire thing up. It's a game, folks. That's what we're playing here. It is a game. The Clintons want to go public to say, I know nothing, I saw nothing, I did nothing, you can't blame me for anything, and whatever the definition of is. That's what we're dealing with. So will they ultimately testify? Well, apparently so, if they testify behind closed doors in front of a camera for a deposition. All of that is scheduled for February 26th and February 27th. And if they have a hearing, the public hearing, that, my friends, is going to be must-see TV. And if it is, put it on your docket. It's something you're not going to want to miss. And now you know.